Welcome to the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald Talking Newspaper podcast, as published on Wednesday the 22nd of April 2026, and composed of recordings by volunteers for the charity Cute and Review recording service, which is based in Bishopbriggs. We hope you enjoy it.
Club picks a bone with Hall decision. A report by Julie Curry. The grand opening of Campsie Memorial Hall will take place tonight, Wednesday, following a £2.279 million refurbishment. However, in a post on Facebook on Saturday morning, one local group said it's been told it is no longer welcome to use the facilities. Taking to Facebook to vent their frustration, a volunteer with Kirkintilloch and District Dog Training Club said, "We are extremely sorry and disappointed to have to share this update with the people of Lennoxtown. We have been told that we are no longer welcome to return to Campsie Memorial Hall, which has been our training base since 2019. At no point during the renovation period were we informed that we would not be allowed back. When we first reached out, we were told this was an East Dunbartonshire Council decision. However, after querying this, having been advised otherwise, we were then told the decision had been made by the Hall Committee following a vote and that we had only been permitted use previously due to the Hall's condition. We feel this is extremely disappointing and frankly could have been communicated to us from the outset. This hall has been renovated using grants, and it is stated publicly that it would reopen to the groups and clubs who previously used it. As a long-standing user, we expect it to return and continue serving the local community and dog owners as we have done for years. KDDTC is a non-profit organisation, and alongside our training sessions, we regularly visit schools and local organisations to educate children on responsible dog ownership and behaviour. We'd also be interested to know if there are other local groups, clubs or schools who have been declined access, as we have been led to believe we are not the only ones affected. We want to thank all of our members and supporters for their continued loyalty. We are currently looking at alternative options. Kirkintilloch and District Dog Training Club celebrated its 70th anniversary in 2021. A non-profit organisation, all money paid by members is used for hiring class and agility venues, buying equipment and funding member events. An extensive refurbishment of Campsie Memorial Hall has been underway since last April. The £2.279 million project has been achieved by the Council with development partner Hub West Scotland and main contractor Linear Design and Construct. An opening concert has been organised for tonight, Wednesday, at 7 p.m. Tickets priced £5 are now sold out. However, on Sunday, April 26, a non-ticketed open day will be held for the public from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m, giving locals a chance to see the completed transformation. Online booking is also now open for hire of the hall from Monday, May the 4th. That report was written by Julie Curry and read by me, Nikki.
This week in history. April 26, 1947. The English FA Cup final between Charlton Athletic and Burnley was televised in its entirety for the first time. April 27, 1968. Abortion was legalised in Britain. On this day last year, 11 people were killed when a man drove into a crowd at a Filipino Heritage Festival in Vancouver, local police confirmed. April 28, 1945. Benito Mussolini and his mistress Claretta Petacci were executed by Italian partisans and their bodies hung in a square in Milan. On this day last year, BBC executives Tim Davie and Samir Shah vowed that today is the day we draw a line in the sand after an independent review found some well-known names are not being held to account for poor behaviour. April 29, 1909. In a revolutionary budget, Chancellor David Lloyd George introduces a super tax of 6p in the pound for anyone earning more than £5,000 a year to pay for pensions and rearmament. On this day last year, a watchdog reported into the Kingsmill massacre, identified a series of failings in the original police investigation of the IRA atrocity, including a wholly insufficient deployment of resources to catch the killers. That was This Week in History, read by Ian.
Firm needs fuel support by Julie Curry. Local firm Brewster Brothers has issued a call for urgent government intervention to address escalating fuel costs and shortages. The sustainable resource management firm has warned that continued volatility risks undermining both business viability and progress toward a more sustainable construction sector. Backed by its membership association RMAS, Brewster's is highlighting the growing financial strain caused by sharp increases in diesel prices driven by ongoing instability in global energy markets. It is placing immediate pressure on wash plant operations, which rely on the use of diesel to power plant machinery and haulage operations. Through 2 state-of-the-art wash plants in Tweaker and Livingston, the firm extracts valuable materials from construction, demolition, and excavation waste. It then recycles the materials into a recycled product which is repurposed into the construction industry, where it is used in everything from new-build homes to essential road infrastructure. Last year, the firm marked the milestone of diverting 2 million tonnes of construction, demolition and excavation waste, saving 12,000 tonnes of CO2 from entering the atmosphere. However, the cost of a bulk diesel delivery at the start of February was 106 ppl. At the time of writing, it is over 160 ppl, a more than 50% increase in 2 months. Brewster Brothers and RMAS are now urging UK Government and Westminster representatives to engage directly with industry stakeholders and act swiftly to ensure that businesses contributing to sustainable construction are not disproportionately impacted by short-term economic shocks. The situation is challenging, given supply chain disruption caused by the pandemic and the invasion of Ukraine, alongside regulatory changes such as the removal of entitlement to rebated red diesel in April 2022. In recent weeks, the Road Haulage Association and the Washed Aggregates Trade Association have urged the government to consider measures already introduced in the Republic of Ireland, such as temporary fuel duty derogations. Brewster Brothers is now backing calls for a package of interventions. Director Scott Brewster said, "We're fully committed to supporting the transition to a circular economy and reducing embodied carbon in construction. However, the current surge in fuel costs and concerning shortages in diesel is creating an unsustainable operating environment for businesses like ours. There are no viable large-scale alternatives to diesel for heavy plant machinery used in recycling and aggregate washing operations. Electric-powered models at the scale required for operations like ours do not exist. Lower-carbon biofuels such as hydrotreated vegetable oil remain significantly more expensive and subject to the same fuel duty treatment. Without short-term, targeted intervention, such as a temporary reintroduction of red diesel for plant machinery, or suspending the forthcoming fuel duty rise for businesses in the waste and recycling sector, there is a real risk that companies driving sustainability in the construction sector will be forced to scale back operations. That would be entirely counterproductive to the UK's environmental ambitions. That article was written by Julie Curry and it was read by Jahan.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, April the 22nd, 2026. Disused barn transformed for tourist accommodation. A farm in Milton of Campsie has been given the go-ahead from East Dunbartonshire Council to renovate a disused barn in order to rent it out as tourist accommodation. East Dunbartonshire Council granted permission for the application by Banks Farm near Antimony Loch on Thursday, April the 16th, subject to a number of conditions. It will see the derelict barn being redeveloped and extended to bring it into use for rental purposes. Supporting information provided alongside the application paperwork explained that the materials used in the development will be selected to work in sympathy with the surrounding environment. The existing stone of the barn will be retained while introducing new extensions to create suitable living accommodation. Construction will involve natural timbers, Scottish slate and reclaimed stone, while also making use of steel and aluminium in the doors and windows. Part of the planning statement gave details on how the development would enhance tourism in the area, saying it would provide unique access to the Campsies for walking, cycling and hiking, while also removing a brownfield site from the green belt. The development to which this permission relates must begin no later than 3 years from the date of permission being granted. For additional details on the application, visit the Council's planning portal and search for planning reference TP/ED/25/0275.
Family Farm is shortlisted for 3 industry awards by Julie Curry. The best food and drink venues across Scotland have been revealed as shortlisted finalists for an awards event later this month. Customers of Billingtons of Lenzie will not be surprised to learn that the award-winning family business is once again in the running. The local firm will be competing for Family Business of the Year, Best Team and Best Beer Selection when the Scottish Entertainment and Hospitality Awards are held on Thursday, April 30th. Run by Mark and Sue Billington, they and their team are delighted to be shortlisted in 3 categories. Mark said, "We're all thrilled to have been shortlisted for 3 awards, but we're particularly proud of making the best team. Our staff work so very hard and absolutely deserve the recognition. The best beer selection is testimony to Nick, our beer buyer, who keeps the fridge busting with a fantastic selection, many of which are exclusive to Billingtons in Scotland. Boy band GLS will be topping the bill of international performers at the awards ceremony at the Doubletree by Hilton Glasgow, which also includes Kelly Lorena, the Cheeky Girls, and Scots DJ Michael Kilkie." Awards Director Warren Paul said, "This year saw a record number of votes from the general public keen to show their support for the Scottish hospitality trade. We have counted over 135,000 votes and had engagement from more than 2,500 licensed premises, making it Scotland's most interactive trade event. After 14 years, I still can't believe the love for this event, and this will be the best one yet. The standard of finalists is incredible, with Scotland's leading food and drink venues now in with the chance of winning the country's biggest hospitality prizes. With the industry in general battling to survive, it's more important than ever to shine a light on those who deliver the best every single day, and that's why we are here." Mark and Sue Billington opened the Lenzie Delicatessen in November 2012, specialising in artisan and locally sourced products, a range of wine, beers and spirits, and their own blend of ice cream. They've won a number of awards since, and the team are now keeping their fingers crossed for April 30th. That article was written by Julie Curry.
Toff stores are now closed. This article is unattributed. A discount shopping chain has officially closed down all of its remaining stores, marking the end of a 57-year era. Founded in 1969, the original factory shop became a popular go-to for affordable fashion, home, and beauty products. However, the firm went into administration in January, with numerous stores up and down the country permanently closing their doors. Before its collapse, Toff's was said to operate 137 shops. However, administrators at Interpath have confirmed that all shops ceased trading on April 4th, with the head office also now closed. Around 1,180 people were said to have been employed by the firm, with the vast majority having now been made redundant. However, a small number have been retained to help administrators to formally wind up the business. A spokesman said, "A phased closure of the store portfolio was implemented considering the financial position. Without any viable offers to take the business forward, it was not possible for the original factory shop to continue trading, and all remaining stores were closed on April 4th. The majority of employees have been made redundant, while a small number have been retained to assist the joint administrators as they move towards formally winding up the business. A specialist team is in place to support impacted staff with making redundancy payment service claims. Toff's and Kirkintilloch closed for the final time on April 4th, while the Mulgai store closed on March 21st. This article is unattributed and read by Aaron.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, April the 22nd, 2026. Mighty stride for Food Bank. Members of East Dunbartonshire Food Bank are taking on the mighty stride at Glasgow's Kilt Walk this weekend. With 3 centres in Kirkintilloch, Bishopbriggs and Lennoxtown, with coverage of Mulgai and Bearsden through partners, the Food Bank supports people who are struggling. A spokesman said, "Some of the Food Bank team have signed up to the Mighty Stride Kilt Walk, 23 miles, say it quietly, and whatever the Glasgow weather might throw at us. Please sponsor us if you can. With changes to Trussell funding, we are now even more reliant on our local community's support to continue to provide emergency food and fuel to our neighbours, a respite in the midst of life's problems and advice to assist people to move into a better situation. So far, the team have raised £650 of their £1,000 target. To lend your support, visit www.justgiving.com/campaign/EDFB Kiltwalk 26.
Man preyed on victim, a report by Connor Gordon. A convicted domestic abuser who attacked a girl and smoked cannabis with her has been ordered to do 300 hours of unpaid work. Peter Clark, 43, repeatedly preyed upon his now 20-year-old victim between November 2008 and December 2021. He initially pursued the girl, pushed her on the body and caused her to fall to the ground at his home in Kirkintilloch. Clark, now Bishopbriggs, went on to stand over her, then repeatedly punched her to the head and body. Glasgow Sheriff Court heard how Clark also made derogatory remarks about the girl during the same time period. He also made comments about her weight and encouraged her to smoke cannabis, as well as do it together. Clark was initially convicted of a domestic abuse charge against his wife in 2024 and received the maximum 300 hours of unpaid work as well as a tag. He hurled abuse at her and claimed that she was having an affair. He took her phone, paid £400 for a lie detector test, and assaulted her when she refused to take part. During another attack, Clark kicked the hospital nurse in the head, like it was a football, while she suffered from COVID. When she returned to the family home after their split, she found a pinhole camera hidden in the standby light of her Sky TV box. Clark was convicted of his latest charges of assaulting the girl and causing a child unnecessary suffering. The 20-year-old care assistant recalled smoking a lot of weed with Clark around 2021. She said, "One night he was smoking it in front of me and I must have asked him for some. Since then, it became more and more often and was like a bonding thing. I knew it was wrong, but at the time it made me feel more connected with him, like things were going well." The witness added, "This took place when Clark's wife went to bed and he would roll my joints." She said, "I never saw a problem with it at the time. I was just happy to be getting on well with him." Sheriff Tony Kelly also tagged Clark for 6 months and put him under supervision for 2 years. That report was written by Connor Gordon.
Towpath work is approved. This article is unattributed. Planning officers have formally approved East Dunbartonshire Council's planned project to upgrade a section of towpath near the Forth and Clyde Canal at Luggy Bank. The development includes the upgrade of the existing South Bank towpath with improved services and other features, including signs, lighting, and landscaping. The proposals were considered not to represent harm to the character and appearance of the area, and would instead bring benefits for the well-being, recreation, and health of local people who regularly use the route. It will create a series of public spaces along the towpath, which leads to and from Kirkintilloch town centre, improving travel. They will also act as destinations in their own right, with features such as improved lighting, seating, and picnic facilities to attract more users. Several conditions are attached to the planning permission, most of them requiring additional documentation to be provided before development begins. This article is unattributed and read by Aaron. Danish Police, a Warm Welcome. This article was written by Julie Curry. East Dunbartonshire officers were delighted to host police colleagues from Copenhagen last week as part of an international policing exchange. The event aimed sharing best practice, strengthen professional relationships, and showcase the diverse nature of policing in local communities. It provided an opportunity to highlight both the urban and rural policing challenges faced locally, while demonstrating the strong partnership approach that underpins community policing. The program included a presentation on the role of the Local Authority Liaison Officer, LALO, and an overview of policing in the more rural areas of G Division. These discussions allowed for comparison between policing models and approaches, particularly around engagement, prevention, and partnership working. Guests were then joined by colleagues from the Council's antisocial behavior team, where wardens provided insight into their day-to-day role. A visit to HMP Low Moss followed, where colleagues were given a guided tour. The itinerary also included input from the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service, with a visit to a local fire station. The group also traveled up the Campsies for input from the Wildlife Crime Officer, who outlined the unique challenges of rural and environmental crime. Chief Inspector Liam Harmon said, "The visit was a valuable opportunity to showcase the breadth of policing within G Division, from custody and urban antisocial behavior to rural crime and partnership-led problem-solving." This article was written by Julie Curry and read by Aaron.
Jerry's talk is a winner. A report by Julie Curry. A local man has won the Scottish Division final of the World Championships of Public Speaking. Jerry Dunn of Milton of Campsie, who has been a member of the Toastmasters organisation for more than 20 years, was chosen by a panel of 8 judges. He now has the chance to secure a spot at the World Championships of Public Speaking final in Vancouver, Canada, if he can win at the next round in Tralee, Ireland, from May 8 to 10. The World Championships have been held since 1938, and 10,000 competitors from more than 140 countries compete each year. The Scottish Division contest saw speakers from 16 clubs around Scotland compete in 3 contests. Jerry's speech, This One Thing, told the tale of his early football experiences at school and university level, and how it taught him that you don't always need talent to enjoy great success. During his speech, Jerry said, "You might have a talent you have not developed. Don't hold back because you are not as talented as others. If you work hard, you can live out your dreams." The strong theme seemed to capture the attention of the audience and the judges. Ronnie Smith, Toastmasters in Scotland Division Director, said, "Jerry was a deserving winner, though he was up against many fantastic entries. We hope that he can go on to win at further levels and perhaps even become the world champion of public speaking." His speech reflects the experience of many people joining Toastmasters. A lack of talent in public speaking may be holding back their career. Toastmasters is the place to go to develop those skills. The Scottish Division final took place last weekend in the upper hall of Hillhead Library in Glasgow. Ronnie added, "The contest went well and we had a bigger attendance than usual. The hall was packed and the atmosphere was exciting. This brought the best out of our competitors, who gave incredible performances." Jerry is a member of Stirling Speakers and Glasgow Toastmasters, which have both recently opened to new members. For more information on joining, visit toastmasters.org or email scotlandtoastmasters@gmail.com. That report was written by Julie Curry.
Dogs Are Lifeline in Rosie's Health by Julie Curry. A Lennoxtown woman living with multiple sclerosis has told how her 3 rescue dogs are helping her to manage the condition. Rosie Devlin, 54, was diagnosed with the neurological condition at the age of 41 after experiencing a number of symptoms linked to the illness. MS affects both the brain and spinal cord, leading to nerve damage and resulting in symptoms such as extreme fatigue, problems with vision, feeling off balance, and numbness. Having had dogs throughout her life, many of which have been rescued from the SSPCA, former zookeeper Rosie realised that having a dog has helped her with her MS, encouraging her to go outside, get some exercise, and be in nature. She said, "By the time I was diagnosed, my children were capable of looking after themselves to a certain extent, whereas a dog is dependent on you, so you've got that incentive to get up and go. A dog can't feed itself, can't walk itself or let itself out, so it gives you that push to work through it and concentrate on something else. Exercise is also a real benefit for somebody who's got MS. I know not everyone is in the same situation as myself. I've got relapsing remitting and there's various different forms of MS. But for me, if I do have a relapse and I feel unwell, getting out, pushing myself and getting fresh air really does help me feel better and strengthens my muscles. A dog is always there to give you unconditional love as well, no matter what you feel or look like." Rosie and her husband Peter, who has his own photography agency, have 3 dogs that were all adopted from the SSPCA. Black Labrador Bonnie, Border Collie Moss, and the latest arrival, who came through the charity's fostering scheme, Bramble. Bonnie was rescued from the charity's Lanarkshire Rescue Centre, Moss from the former Peterden facility, and Bramble from Glasgow. Peter said, "I think it's good for the mental health aspect as well. If you've got that bond with a dog, it cheers you up, and if you're feeling down for whatever reason, the dogs are there. The fact you're walking the dog as well, it's gentle exercise. You don't realise how much walking you're actually doing. Rosie walks the dogs 3 or 4 times a day, so she must do at least 15,000 steps every day." Rosie added, "You've got to just get up and get on with it. I know not everyone is capable. There were times when my walking was not good and I found it very difficult to walk. I found it very difficult to see as well, so Peter coming with me on a walk did help, but so did having a dog on each side of me to keep me balanced. It doesn't work for everybody, but that's how it's worked for me." Lucy Eldred is the Chief Executive of Canine Partners, a charity which creates life-changing partnerships between disabled people and expertly trained dogs. She said, "Dogs can play a life-changing role for people living with MS, offering both companionship and practical support. At Canine Partners, our dogs undergo around 2 years of specialist training before being carefully matched with a disabled person. From picking up dropped items to opening doors and supporting daily routines, they enable their partners to live more independently while also providing invaluable emotional support. Around 20% of our partners are living with MS, and we see every day how these dogs break down barriers, helping people live with greater confidence and freedom. Visit caninepartners.org.uk for more information on the work of Canine Partners and how you can help support the charity. To find out more about dog rescues or to help the SSPCA, visit scottish-spca.org. Canine Partners breed, train and support expert assistance dogs to create loving, life-changing partnerships with disabled people. Across the UK, it supports people with a variety of physical disabilities and their families, carefully matching them with a dog that suits their needs, personality and lifestyle. The charity's dogs bring confidence and independence, love and companionship, reducing reliance on carers and giving people the freedom to live life their own way. It remains dedicated to the original mission set out by its founders Anne Conway and Dr. Elizabeth Ormerod. However, over the past 35 years, its work has evolved. Today, it supports people in different ways, from canine partners with access rights to canine home assistants and canine companions. That article was written by Julie Curry.
Making the Case for Food Industry, a report by Julie Curry. Scotland's food and drink sector, now valued at a record £24 billion to the economy, has taken centre stage at a special roundtable event. The Food and Drink Investment Roundtable aimed to determine why one of Scotland's most trusted and resilient industries is consistently overlooked by the investment community. Convened by Scotland Food and Drink, it brought together key stakeholders to address the significant gap between the sector's commercial success and its share of private investment. Despite being Scotland's largest manufacturing sector, employing 115,000 people and delivering sustained growth over 15 years, food and drink ranked 10th out of 10 sectors for investment in Scotland, with deal numbers falling 34% between 2022 and 2024. This underinvestment comes at a time when the sector is projecting an additional £4 billion in sales over the next 5 years, driven by surging global demand for premium, provenance-led Scottish products. Total exports now stand at £7.5 billion, with food exports alone growing 200% over the past decade. The industry has delivered consistent long-term growth, with turnover rising 64% since 2008 to reach £18.9 billion. Yet, Despite this commercial success, the sector's investment profile tells a different story. While Scotland overall is bucking UK investment trends, with deal values up 108% in Q1 2025, food and drink has seen deal numbers contract. The sector's unique profile helps explain the gap. With over 17,000 registered businesses, many family-owned and significant proportional female-led, food and drink does not fit the traditional investment mould. Most SMEs are seeking smaller sums, 58% needed under £50,000, with only 17% considering equity finance. Instead, businesses rely on debt, grants and crowdfunding, which rose 24% in Scotland, despite falling 38% UK-wide. Ian Baxter, Scotland Food and Drink Chief Executive, said, "Our sector is trusted globally, anchored in quality and primed for growth. We have a £24 billion industry with a track record of resilience, a world-class support ecosystem, and consumer demand that spans every continent. The question this roundtable sought to answer is simple. Why isn't the investment community matching our ambition?" This evening was about changing that. We brought together the right people to have an honest conversation about the barriers, the opportunities and the steps we need to take to ensure our food and drink sector attracts the investment it deserves. Coming off the back of record valuations and sustained growth, there has never been a better time to make that case. That article was written by Julie Curry and read by Ian.
Backing for Wee Box. The Archbishop of Glasgow, William Nolan, together with Scotland's other bishops, has given his blessing to SCIAF's Wee Box annual fundraising appeal. SCIAF, the Scottish Catholic International Aid Fund, is the official relief and development agency of the Catholic Church in Scotland. It works with people in the world's poorest places to end poverty and help them recover from disaster. SCIAF Chief Executive Lorraine Curry said, "We are so grateful to the bishops of Scotland and Catholics across the country for their support already this Lent. This year's Wee Box campaign aims to highlight the issue of access to clean water and the transformational work SCIAF supporters are funding. Our supporters are so generous, it is really overwhelming. Visit www.sciaf.org.uk/WeeBox for more details."
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, April the 22nd, 2026. Making Sure Medicine is Really Working for You by Julie Curry. NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde is encouraging people to feel confident having open conversations about their health, including the medicines they take. As part of its commitment to realistic medicine, NHS GGC is asking patients, families and carers to speak to healthcare professionals about whether their medicines are still the right choice. Many people take medicines for long periods of time, sometimes for conditions that have changed or improved. Others may be taking several medicines at once. While they can be life-saving, there are times when medicines may no longer be needed, may not be helping as expected, or are causing unwanted side effects. This is where de-prescribing comes in. The planned and supervised process of reducing or stopping medicines that may no longer be providing benefit or where the potential risks outweigh the benefits. It must always be done safely with support from healthcare professionals and should never be undertaken without advice. Anne Thompson, NHS GGC Clinical Services lead pharmacist, said, "Medicines play a vital role in treating and preventing illness. However, they should always be reviewed to make sure they are still right for the person taking them. Reviewing medicines involves having open, informed conversations and making shared decisions that reflect someone's current health, priorities and circumstances. It should always be done with professional support and never on your own." Asking questions about medicines is an important part of shared decision-making, where patients and healthcare professionals work together to decide what care is right for them. These conversations can take place at any appointment, including with a GP, practice nurse, pharmacist, hospital doctor, or other healthcare professional. De-prescribing is not about taking your medicines away. It's making sure each medicine is right for the person taking it. Anyone with questions is encouraged to ask. This is no such thing as a silly question when it comes to health. It's okay to ask.
Pupils can help Mary's Meals to feed a school. This article was written by Julie Curry. Secondary schools in East Dunbartonshire can fundraise to feed an entire school of hungry children by signing up for a charity's life-changing Feed a School initiative. Mary's Meals provides meals to more than 3 million children every school day in some of the world's poorest communities in 16 countries. The promise of a nutritious meal at school attracts these children into the classroom, where they can gain an education that can be their ladder out of poverty. Yet millions of children still miss out on going to school due to hunger. Through Feed a School, secondary schools can ensure every pupil at a school in Malawi or Zambia receives a nutritious meal every day for a full school year. Feeding an entire school for a year is more achievable than many realize. With Mary's Meals, it costs just 10 pence a day to provide a child with a nutritious school meal. Whether schools choose to fundraise on their own or join with others, they will develop a real sense of connection to their chosen school and to the children they are helping. With updates from the feeding program and a final report from the Malawian or Zambian school at the end of the year. Clara Benjamin, the charity's Director of Supporter Engagement, said, "We serve children in schools of many different sizes, which means Feed a School offers a range of fundraising targets to suit every school community. Schools can sign up to Feed a School in Malawi or Zambia today and turn a year of school meals into a lifetime of impact." A school's support can bring hope to more children like Sean, age 12, from Bayani Primary School in Malawi. Hunger is a daily struggle for Sean and his classmates, but with Mary's Meals, they have a chance at a brighter future. He said, "Mostly there is no money, and we don't eat at home, but I know I will get porridge at school. I am happy at school, and I want to be a scientist. Porridge will help me take the next steps." Schools that choose to fundraise won't be doing it alone. Mary's Meals will be there to support schools throughout their fundraising year, and each participating school will be joining others up and down the country. Find out more at www.marysmeals.org.uk/feed-a-school. This article was written by Julie Curry and read by Erin.
For the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald, as published on Wednesday the 22nd of April 2026, the letters page. Let's talk. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKY@JNScotland.co.uk. Please write letters in the subject field. Keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. Overlooked for too long. Sir, with just a few weeks to go before a pivotal election in Scotland, now is the time to urge our local representatives to address a major public health issue that has been overlooked for far too long. Is I right? The needs of the 1.5 million people in Scotland who are deaf, have hearing loss or tinnitus, are being neglected, and this must change. It's unacceptable that people with hearing loss in Scotland face routine waits of up to 18 months for audiology services, with some forced to wait even longer. Too often, healthcare services in Scotland also fail to meet the communication needs of deaf people and those with hearing loss, such as providing an accessible alternative to the telephone, or a BSL interpreter for those who need one. This leaves people unable to fully understand or participate in decisions about their own care. We want Scotland to be a country where the 1.5 million deaf people and people with hearing loss or tinnitus are fully included and treated with respect, dignity and understanding. In the run-up to the election, RNID is urging people to raise up these issues with our local MSP candidates. You can contact your local candidates by visiting www.rnid.org.uk. Yours, etc., Ruth MacLeod, Health Policy Advisor, RNID. Soundbite Politics. Sir, the latest election soundbite from the SNP is interesting. Capping basic food items would be great. If it were that straightforward, why not just cap 2 items? Oil and gas. Now, that would make a difference and increase their vote, as the price of everything, not just basic food items, would come down. This would never happen though, as the huge multinationals with so much economic and political power would never allow it. Yours, etc., J. Moore, by email. Who is the real patriot? Sir, so Reform UK leader Nigel Farage says Sir Keir Starmer is the most unpopular Prime Minister in living memory. Also, without doubt, the least patriotic Prime Minister in history. I dispute both these claims. There have been a few more unpopular. As far as being patriotic, he stood up to Donald Trump and, in spite of all of Trump's insults, he said he would not be directly involved in his illegal war. Farage, on the other hand, would jump to Trump's demands. Is this what he calls patriotism? For the sake of our country, we must ensure he never gets the keys to number 10. Yours, etc., Charles Sinclair, by email. Maths problem. Sir, Scotland's GDP in 2014 was £160 billion and, according to page 208 of their Scotland's Future Independence Manifesto, the SNP were proposing to spend £2.5 million on defence, which is 1.6% of GDP. Scotland's GDP in 2025 was £233 billion, so if we were independent and adopted the NATO target of 3.5% of the GDP, we'd need to spend almost £8 billion. Not £2.5 billion or the £4 billion that 1.6% of current GDP suggests. I doubt the SNP Stephen Flynn factored this in when he recently attacked the UK's admittedly poor recent record on defence spending. Yours, etc., Alan Sutherland, by email. Get your move on. Sir, I am writing from the Arthritis UK to invite the community to take part in our brand new arthritis-friendly movement fundraising challenge. Get your move on this May. With 1 in 6 of us struggling with the pain, fatigue and stiffness of arthritis, this isn't just about fundraising. It's about helping people build sustainable exercise habits that can help manage arthritis symptoms. Arthritis can also leave people feeling isolated, so Get Your Move On will also help connect a supportive community of people who understand and provide access to valuable information and resources. All participants can choose a preferred form of exercise and set their own time targets, and have the option to join a designated Facebook community group for support, inspiration and advice through the month. We welcome everyone to join Get Your Move On from May the 1st to 31st, and are delighted to support your work towards your personal movement goals whilst raising vital funds for Arthritis UK. More information and sign up can be found on the Arthritis UK website or by emailing fundraising@arthritis-uk.org. That's fundraising@arthritis-uk.org. Yours, etc., Bethan Thobani Hacker, Head of Public Fundraising, Arthritis UK. And that was this week's letters page. Let's Talk, read by Ian McKenna.
Yes, Scotland can boogie in its own team tartan, by Julie Currie. In a record-breaking year, the Scottish Register of Tartans netted a brace of designs relating to this year's Men's Football World Cup. In 2025, 575 tartan designs joined the register, an increase of over 30% on the preceding year and the most ever. Among the new designs, Scotland Can Boogie and Caledonia Dreaming were inspired by the Tartan Army's upcoming trip to America to support the national team. A new Spirit of Brazil tartan, designed by a pupil at Largs Primary, celebrated friendship between Scotland and the South American country. Continuing the transatlantic trend, several designs marked the 250th anniversary of the American Declaration of Independence. They included designs inspired by the American Revolution, the Statue of Liberty, and Thomas Jefferson, the third US President. Closer to home, tartans were registered to celebrate iconic Scottish landmarks, such as the Kelvingrove Art Gallery and Museum and Edinburgh Castle. Alison Byrne, NRS Chief Executive, said, "Last year was a remarkable year for the Scottish Register of Tartans, with a 30% increase in new designs." Looking at what's behind some of the designs, Scotland's first Men's Football World Cup in a generation and the American Declaration anniversary, it's clear that people want to include tartan in meaningful moments. Tartan is part of our heritage, and we're delighted to see designs coming from people of all ages and from all over the world. NRS released the figures to coincide with New York's annual Tartan Day parade, which was staged on Saturday, April 11th. Created in November 2008 by the Scottish Parliament and launched in February 2009 as a single independent record, the Scottish Register of Tartans aims to promote and preserve information about historic and contemporary tartans. The register ensures that each tartan is new and unique. It is administered by National Records of Scotland with advice from the Court of the Lord Leon and representatives of the Scottish tartan industry. Hundreds of new designs are registered every year for all kinds of reasons, for families, cultural organisations, sporting clubs, businesses, movies and television shows. There is not a tartan for every Scottish name. There are tartans for the Scottish clans and associated families, some lowland families and geographical districts. Traditionally, people wear the tartan which relates to their surname. However, if there is no appropriate name tartan, they tend to look for a district tartan connected to the area where they live or where their ancestors lived. There are also a number of tartans which have been designed for anyone to wear, no matter where they hail from. Prior to the establishment of the register, tartans were recorded by the Scottish Tartans Society, the Scottish Tartans World Register and the Scottish Tartans Authority. Visit the Scottish Register of Tartans website for the full searchable database of over 10,000 registered tartans and find further information on registering new designs at tartanregister.gov.uk/index. That article was written by Julie Currie.
Turn off phones for On Mute May, a report by Julie Currie. Readers are being encouraged to step away from social media this May to raise vital funds and awareness of the growing dangers of children facing online. Children's first new campaign, On Mute May, follows research from the children's charity which shows harmful online content is the biggest threat children and young people say they face today. In Scotland, 79% of young people reported feeling worried about encountering harmful content online, and 78% are anxious about the impact social media has on their lives. Smartphone use has also emerged as a major concern for both children and parents. Children First warns that while phone and social media use has become deeply ingrained in everyday life, children cannot protect themselves from harmful or disturbing content, and adults must take urgent action to keep them safe. Michelle Supple, the charity's fundraiser, marketing and communications director, said, "Across Scotland, our teams work with children and young people every single day who have experienced devastating harm online. Children can't protect themselves from online dangers. We need people all over Scotland to join our On Mute Me campaign and give up or take a break from social media to raise funds to help protect Scotland's children." Among their number is 18-year-old Erin, who has been impacted by online harm in the past. She said, "Being online all the time can take a toll on how you feel about yourself, how you see the world, and even how people treat one another. The rise of toxic influencers, bullying in group chats, people sharing harmful content, it all adds up. Taking a break doesn't mean unplugging forever. It just means giving your brain space to breathe. If you're thinking about doing something worthwhile, join in the challenge. It's also a great opportunity to switch off and connect with your children and family, and spend quality time making memories together." Judy Murray is also lending her support to the campaign. She said, "I'm delighted to be backing the On Mute Me campaign. Together, we're shining a light on the serious online harm facing children across Scotland while raising vital funds for the charity. I've always championed the power of sport for the life skills it develops, as well as the obvious physical and mental health benefits. I'm encouraging everyone to take part in this digital detox and get active. It's a great opportunity to switch off, reconnect and have fun together in whatever way you choose. By taking a break from social media in May, you're not just supporting your own well-being, you're helping protect Scotland's children. Children First helps protect children from harm, supports families to recover from trauma, and offers guidance through its national support line and local services. Anyone wishing to take part in On Mute Me can sign up through the Children First website at www.childrenfirst.org.uk/onmuteme. The charity's support line is also available for anyone who is worried about a child's online safety. Call 08 000 28 22 33. 365 days a year. Report by Julie Curry.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, April the 22nd, 2026. Records show 4.2 million voters in Scotland. In December, more than 4.2 million people were registered to vote in the upcoming Scottish Parliament elections, according to new figures from NRS. This is the first time that electorate data has been collected for the new Scottish parliamentary constituencies, which came into force last October, following a review by Boundaries Commission Scotland. The largest was Amond Valley in West Lothian, and the smallest, Shetland. In total, there were 4,266,700 people registered to vote for Scottish parliamentary and local council elections. This figure is broadly stable, having decreased by 0.4% on the previous year. It's a similar picture for UK elections, where there were 4,035,600 people registered to vote. The number on the electoral roll increases in the run-up to a parliamentary election, so it is likely to have increased since December. Foreign nationals on the electoral register reached a record high of 198,100, 4.6% of the total electorate.
Hello, good day to you. It's Philip here from Q and Review, reading the church news. In the Kirky Herald, we're going first of all to Milton-a-Campsie Church. Next Sunday is Bring a Friend Day. Yes, if you've got a friend, bring a friend. If you don't have a friend, then bring yourself. Sorry, that's these my words. Or accompany someone to church at 11 a.m. Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. is Cafe Connect. Wednesday at 7 p.m. is Time to Pray. We're excited about the long weekend village festival featuring live music, poetry, art, dance and free family activities, and are delighted to be involved in this 2 days of fun and friendship. June the 20th and 21st in Milton-a-Campsie. Our April charity is Silver Birch Scotland. a non-profit charity and social enterprise who provide work-focused training opportunities to adults with learning difficulties, mainly through the provision of social and therapeutic horticulture. So Silverbit Scotland is also run in a small social enterprise up there in Milton-Campsie, so it's local, producing and selling gardening products like compost plants. To support its work, all takings are reinvested back into the organisations. So that's Milton-Campsie, first of all, and now where are we going now? Yeah, I'll try and flick the paper over. Kirkintilloch Church of God at Regent Hall, Regent Street. On Sunday, there will be a communion service at 10:30 a.m, followed by a short Bible message from Tony Smith. On Wednesday, Coffee Corner is open from 12 to 2 p.m. Join our friends and neighbours for home baking and coffee. A warm welcome awaits the next family praise service. It will be on Sunday, May the 3rd. And will feature songs led by our praise band, video clips and speaker Dr. Carol Smith. The refreshments will be served after the service. Everyone is welcome. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit our website, allthews.regenthall.org. And they have a text for today, this week. Jesus said, I am the bread of life. He who comes to me will never go hungry, and he who believes in me will never be thirsty. And now to Lindsay Old Parish Church. We will be celebrating Holy Communion on Sunday, April the 26th at 11 a.m. A crest is available for children under 3. Thursday afternoon club is on Thursday, April the 23rd, 2 till 4 p.m. Enjoy tea, coffee and home baking, followed by a game of Scrabble, dominoes, etc. And if preferred, you can just sit back and chill and relax and do some knitting. Then Scottish Country Dancing is on Thursdays at 7:15 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. Come along for fun, fitness and friendship. You'll be made very welcome. Come and sing Tuesday, April the 28th at 1:15 till 2:45 p.m. The dementia-friendly singing group meets in the church hall. A warm welcome awaits all and, of course, a cuppa and a bite. Please feel free to come along and sing. The Quilt and Craft group meet every Wednesday 10 a.m. till 12 noon in the session room. That should be a good time. And a social evening which will consist of music and music-themed quizzes, course, and of course, tea, coffee. It wouldn't be a meeting in a church if you didn't have your tea and coffee. And that's on the 8th of May at 7 p.m. And now to Home Church Scotland on Lammermuir Road. They have various other locations, but you're only interested in the one here in Kirkintilloch. A church for all ages, and there's new locations coming up sometime soon. And in the home hub in Kirkintilloch, it's on the main street. Pop in for a cup of tea, 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. And you'll be able to, that's Tuesday and Friday only. So there you go. And don't copy the behaviour of customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will know what God wants you to do, and you will know how good and pleasing and perfect His will is really. Worship services 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 and 6:30 p.m. in the upper room for worship and prayer. Morning worship services are followed by refreshments. A warm welcome awaits you at services. Also, children's church at the same times as fit these services in for you. Monday 7:30 p.m. fitness class is what I meant to say. Tuesday 9:30 a.m. heartbeat service, worship and teaching. Wednesday 7:30 p.m. home groups, various locations. Thursday 7 a.m. prayer meeting at the hub, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. drop-in recovery cafe at the hub in Main Street, Kirkintilloch. Young Adults United at Strathclyde University, 8 p.m. There's also football. Friday Youth Fellowship, 7:30 p.m. And the prayer meetings also at 7:30 p.m. And then, of course, there's home radio. Is available every day. See Facebook, Instagram and Home Church website for more information. And if you want to hear my dulcet tones on a Monday night between 8 and 9 on Home Radio. And then we move to Lindsay Union Parish Church. The Sunday service is led by John Nicholson at 11 a.m. A live stream of the service is available on YouTube. The meeting place is open for tea, coffee and home baking every Wednesday 10 till 12 noon in New Hall. Everyone from the very young to the young at heart is welcome to attend. We also have a good selection of greetings cards and second-hand books for sale. The Youth Cafe is on Thursdays 3:45 till 5 p.m. Youth Cafe is a place where young people can hang out, relax and have a good time after a long day at school. Each week there is a free snack with lots of different things to do, such as games, consoles, table tennis, arts and crafts, board games and more. There is even space for completing your homework. If you wish to join, please contact Kim by the email youthworker@lupc.org. The coffee pot opens on Fridays for tea, coffee and home baking, a warm, friendly atmosphere for all ages. Art for Seniors is on Monday, April 27th at 1:30pm in the new hall. Enjoy creating a piece of art under the step-by-step guidance artist Bev McCluskey. No experience needed. So there you have it. It's a great place. And also Messy Church, the fun hour for families, is on Saturday, April 25th. 4pm till 5pm. Challenges, crafts and experiments. Please book a place if you want to arrange to come along. And the phone number is 07774 192 659. And now to Torrance Parish Church. The morning service is in person at 10:30am, conducted by the minister. During the service, the youngsters meet in Crest Junior Church, etc. So come along there, check out their website, torranceparishchurch.online.church. The cafe is open every Wednesday, 9 till 12 noon, for teas, coffees and delicious home baking. Why not come and taste for yourself? To find out about regular weekly activities, check out the website for the What's On at www.tpc.org.uk. Oh, well, we're getting through this. And now, St David's Memorial Park. Next Sunday, April 26th, our session clerk, David Forsyth, is leading our service, which begins at the usual time of 10:30am. If you're not rushing away afterwards, please stay and enjoy a friendly chat and a cup of tea or coffee. The usual short-time lunchtime service is on Tuesday, April 28th at 12 noon. There will be no tea and coffee afterwards, as those who attend the service are joining the Guild, who are enjoying an afternoon tea at Glazier Country House in Lennoxtown. Volunteers have been sought to help tidy the church gardens. If you can help, please come along on Saturday, May the 2nd, between 10 and 2pm. Coffee, tea and nibbles will be served throughout. Please remember to bring your own stools? No, that's knee pads, and maybe the stools that you kneel on. Yes, they're all very welcome. So there you have it. That's all the church news for this week from the Kirky Herald. Hopefully you can manage out to one of the church meetings. And or you don't have to manage out. You can arrange for someone to help you zoom in to a church service and listen to it live. So thank you for tuning in. God bless you guys. It's great to share with you each week the church news. My name's Philip Kilrock and this is the church news from Kirky. Goodbye.
Is Gentle Jack the dog for you? This article is unattributed. Jack is enjoying all the comforts of home in foster care. His foster carers describe him as a really loving dog who is a snugglebug and who loves company. Jack prefers the more peaceful side of life and takes things at his own pace. He enjoys walks in quieter areas away from noisy traffic. Jack also enjoys car journeys, eagerly watching the world go by from the window. The affectionate lad will ask for a fuss from people he knows. Jack could live with children of secondary school age and above. He would like to be the only pet in his forever home, so he can enjoy all the fuss and attention to himself. Visit Dogs Trust West Calder for more information. That article was unattributed.
From the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald, date Wednesday the 22nd of April 2026. District News. Groups. Dogs Trust West Calder. Dogs Trust currently has hundreds of dogs in its care who are ready to meet someone like you. They are open to the public 5 days a week, and you don't need an appointment to visit. See your dogs looking for homes, get advice or apply to adopt. Visit www.dogstrust.org.uk/rehoming/our-centres/West-Calder. Seniors Forum. Kirkintilloch and District Seniors Forum, our long-established forum, are looking for new members to join our monthly meetings. The objective of the forum is to assist in improving quality of everyday life for the elderly community, together with social events, guest speakers from NHS, council, local history and many more. We welcome the over 55s to come along, have a chat, get involved and meet new people, forming new friendships. We meet in the Park Centre, 45 Kerr Street, Kirkintilloch. G66 1LF on the last Thursday of every month from 10:30am to 12 noon. Tea, coffee and biscuits served. Friends of Forth and Clyde. Friends of Forth and Clyde meet every Friday from 12 noon till 2pm at the Boat User Block, South Bank Marina, Kirkintilloch. Everyone is welcome to come along and get a free cuppa and some friendly chat. No membership required. Canal Society. Forth and Clyde Canal Society are looking for volunteers to assist with servicing and maintenance of their fleet of vessels, and volunteers to act as crew/stewards. Full training given. Contact operations @forthandclyde.org.uk or call 07498 965 368 for further information. What's on? Exhibition, Monkland and Kirkintilloch, Scotland's first modern railway. Until May 20th, Tuesday to Saturday, 10am to 5pm, close 1pm to 2pm, Aldkirk Museum. The exhibition tells the story of the Monkland and Kirkintilloch Railway, which opened in 1826 and covered a 10-mile route from collieries in the Monklands to the Forth and Clyde Canal in Kirkintilloch. The exhibition is part of EDLC's Local History Month programme. The Straw Chair, a celebrated modern Scottish play by Sue Glover, first produced in 1988, which dramatises the true story of Lady Rachel Grange, who was kidnapped and exiled to the remote St Kilda Island in the 1730s. The play explores themes of female empowerment, mental health, and the collision of cultures, focusing on the interplay between the estranged, volatile Lady Grange and the naive young bride Isabel, newly arrived from Edinburgh. May the 5th to 9th, Turret Theatre. Tickets from www.ticketsource.com. Art Club Exhibition. Bearsdown Art Club has been thriving since 1953 and will include paintings in oil, acrylic and watercolour, ceramics, textiles and sculpture. During the exhibition, we'll have artists in residence where visitors to the gallery can interact with members and find out more about the club. Lily Gallery, Milngavie until May 14, Tuesday to Saturday 10am 1pm and 2pm to 5pm. Scotland Competition. Aspiring performers from across Scotland will be given the chance to shine on stage and compete for a host of prizes, including a money can't buy Broadway experience at a talent showcase starting in Edinburgh at the beginning of June. Solo artists and groups aged 5 to 21 will be given a platform at Churchill Theatre in the capital's Morningside district on June 19th to 21st to display their skills in singing, dance and musical theatre while competing for career-defining rewards, including exclusive college scholarships, international summer programme placements, and direct access to leading agents and casting directors. The initiative, delivered through a partnership between By the Collectives and the Broadway Dreams Foundation, will see candidates showcasing their talents for a panel of industry heavyweights as they bid to win a place at the grand final at Edinburgh's Usher Hall, where the winners will be awarded with scholarships and a chance to participate in a Broadway showcase in New York. 3 prize winners will be granted a summer school scholarship at a prestigious school, Lane Theatre Arts, the Brighton Academy, or Barcelona's Institute of the Arts. While the Broadway Dreams Award will see the top act go on a 4-day all-expenses-paid trip to New York City for Broadway rehearsals and a casting showcase. Tabitha Watson, Managing Director of Network Artist Management, will be one of the judges of Broadway Breakthrough. She said, "Being invited to be a judge at Broadway Breakthrough in Edinburgh is such a privilege. Scotland is full of exceptional performers, and I am really looking forward to discovering some new talent. Broadway Breakthrough will provide aspiring professionals from Edinburgh and beyond the opportunity to show what they can do and compete for money can't buy prizes, which will stand them in great stead for their future careers. I'd urge anyone hoping to pursue a professional career on that stage to register to audition, and we'll look forward to seeing them in Edinburgh in June." Murray Grant of By the Collective said, "This is the chance for Scottish talent to shine, and we look forward to seeing what some of the UK's brightest talents can bring to our contests across singing, song and dance, jazz, tap, open narrative and musical theatre dance. We are looking for amazing storytellers who truly bring a character to life. Broadway Breakthrough is a UK first major competition that offers genuinely valuable networking and incredible opportunities for everyone beyond just winning a medal." Laura Proudfoot, Director of Training and Education at By the Collectives, added, "This is a real chance for Northern talent to shine, and we're excited to see what some of the UK's brightest performers will bring to our competitions across singing, song and dance, jazz, tap, open narrative, and musical theatre dance. We're looking for exceptional storytellers who can truly bring a character to life. Broadway Breakthrough is a UK first major competition that offers meaningful networking and exciting opportunities for everyone involved, not just the winners. For more information on how to register, go to www.broadwaybreakthrough.global. Broadway Breakthrough will host qualifiers in Edinburgh on June the 19th to 21st at Churchill Theatre. Online qualifiers are on June 28th, with the grand final at Edinburgh's Usher Hall on September 20. Bowel screening campaign. A new campaign encouraging people to sign up for life-saving bowel cancer screening has been launched in Scotland by Cancer Research UK. New analysis from the charity has revealed that around a third of Scots, 34%, invited for bowel cancer screening don't take part, with men, 63%, less likely to participate than women, 68%. Bowel cancer is the fourth most common cancer in Scotland, with around 4,200 new cases every year. That's 11 every day, the charity said. Starting in April, Bowel Cancer Awareness Month, the charity's 6-week Scotland-wide campaign, Don't Ignore It, will run across TV, radio, cinema, social media, newspapers and posters. It includes a TV advert voiced by TV star Ross King, MBE. Cancer Research UK's Chief Executive, Michelle Mitchell, said, "Bowel screening saves lives, but we know there can be things that put people off taking part, such as not realising it is for those without symptoms, or being frightened of what the test might find." The bowel screening programme aims to prevent bowel cancer, or find it at an early stage when treatment is more likely to be successful, so it's really important people don't ignore their invite. In Scotland, people aged 50 to 74 who are registered with a GP receive an NHS bowel screening kit through the post every 2 years. The screening test, called the FIT, Fecal Immunochemical Test, looks for tiny traces of blood in a sample of poo, which can be a sign of bowel cancer. While cancer screening is for people with no symptoms, Cancer Research UK advises that people who are experiencing symptoms speak to their doctor and don't wait to be invited for screening. Symptoms of bowel cancer can include a change in bowel habits, such as needing to poo more often, looser poo or constipation, bleeding from the bottom or blood in poo, tummy pain or a lump and unexplained weight loss. Screening is finding cancers early and, reassuringly, most cancers found through Scotland's bowel cancer screening programme were diagnosed at an early stage, when treatment is more likely to be successful. Cancer Research UK hopes the new campaign will encourage more people to participate. Running this April and May, the new campaign uses a powerful TV advert that features the voice of TV star Ross King, who grew up in Knightswood, Glasgow. For more information, visit cruk.org/bowel screening Scotland. That was this week's District News, read by Ian. Sport. Tigers' Big Finish by Phil Lanning. Glasgow Tigers boss Cammy Brown admitted his team needed a strong finish to secure the vital aggregate bonus point at Berwick Bandits. The Allied Vehicles Tigers went down by 49-41 in Speedway's BSN Series clash at Sheffield Park on Saturday night. In a topsy-turvy encounter, the home side took an early lead, only for Glasgow to come back and go 22-20 in front after 7 heats. But Berwick stormed into their own lead and never looked back to take a vital victory. In the end, it took 2 crucial wins in heats 14 and 15 from Kevin Jill Pedersen and Kyle Howarth to get the bonus point. Tigers boss Brown said, "It was a tough night at the office. Berwick had a very strong side, especially at home, and not many teams will get a result here. We lost a bit of momentum when Kyle got excluded in Heat 9. That meant we conceded 2 5-1s and gave Berwick a lift. Chris Harris has a very rare off night, but Kevin, Kyle and Leon Flint delivered when it mattered. We got the bonus point and that keeps us in a good position in the group. There are lots of positives. Leon was outstanding all night, and Kevin has been really impressive. Mario Hulso is also getting up to speed gradually. The main job was to get the bonus, and we have achieved that." That article was written by Phil Lanning.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, April the 22nd, 2026. City resume their league title bid with trip to Firhill. There will be a change of venue for Glasgow City's upcoming fixture against Partick Thistle Women in the Women's Premier League. The match will now take place at Firhill Stadium this Friday, April the 24th, with a 7:35pm kick-off. It's a chance for City to get their title bid back on track after single-goal defeats to both Hibernian and Hearts before the international break saw them slip from the top of the table. Tickets for the Partick Thistle game are £5 for adults, with under-16s admitted free of charge. Tickets are available on the Partick Thistle fanbase website. After the Partick game, City will face a league and cup double against Celtic. First up will be the league encounter at Petershill Park on Wednesday, April the 29th, with the match kicking off at 7pm. Tickets for this match can be purchased via the Glasgow City website. Then, just a few days later, on Saturday, May the 2nd, it's the semi-final of the Scottish Gas Women's Scottish Cup against Celtic at Hampden Park. City secured their semi-final spot with a 2-0 victory over Stenhousemuir in the quarter-finals, having defeated Motherwell and Queen's Park in previous rounds. Ticket information can be found on City's website at glasgowcityfc.co.uk/blogs/latest/Scottish Cup semi-final tickets on sale now. The tie, which will kick off at 12:30pm, will be broadcast live on BBC Alba.
Big summer in store for bowls clubs? A report by Kevin McRoberts. With the 2026 Commonwealth Games coming to Glasgow, the sport of bowls is launching its most ambitious participation drive yet, a nationwide campaign designed to turn summer inspiration into a surge of new players across the UK. Clubs across the countries will be participating in Bowls Big Summer 2026, running from May to September 2026, with the initiative designed to turn inspiration into action. Backed by the global spotlight of the Commonwealth Games, it aims to invite people of all ages and abilities to experience the sport firsthand and discover or rediscover bowls. At its heart are inclusive, friendly, casual ways to play, giving communities the chance to discover bowls in a relaxed and welcoming environment, regardless of format or code. As one of the 10 sports featured at this year's Commonwealth Games, bowls will enjoy daily broadcast coverage and major media attention throughout the summer. With millions watching elite athletes compete on the international stage, Bowls Big Summer is about harnessing that moment and turning enthusiasm into real participation at local club level. Bowls is a sport that brings people together, combining physical activity, mental well-being and strong social connections. Clubs across all formats and codes of the sport will take part in Bowls Big Summer, offering fun, flexible and informal ways to play, from relaxed open days and short taster sessions to casual pay and play options that fit around modern lifestyles. At the centre of the campaign is play-bowls.com, the destination for anyone looking to get involved. Play-bowls.com will act as the national hub for Bowls Big Summer 2026, making it easier for people to find their nearest club, discover casual ways to play, and book sessions. During the Commonwealth Games period through July and August, clubs are especially encouraged to host themed have-a-go events, using the excitement and visibility of the international stage to attract new participants. With bowls in the national spotlight, play-bowls.com will be a key tool in converting interest into real-life experiences at local clubs. Bowls Big Summer 2026 invites everyone, individuals, families and community groups, to take part. Whether inspired by elite competition or simply looking for a new way to stay socially connected and active, this summer marks a turning point for the sport. Clubs can download free digital marketing packs to assist in promotion of their open days, taster sessions and pay and play offerings this summer at Bowls-Big Summer 26 branding. To find your nearest club and book a session, visit www.play-bowls.com. That article was written by Kevin McRoberts.
Kirkintilloch crashed to home defeat from Whitlets. Kirkintilloch Rob Roy went down to the odd goal in 5 to a disappointing First Division home loss to lowly Whitlets Victoria. Goals from Aaron Davis and Alec Bell saw the second bottom side race into a 2-0 lead. Greg Burns pulled a goal back for Rob Roy, but any chance of a comeback was snuffed out when Stevie McClelland restored the Vics' 2-goal lead. Deep into injury time, Craig Truesdale pulled back a consolation goal for the Roy. Kirky boss John Gibson admitted his side were well below par, especially after last week's fine 4-1 win over Ardrossan Winton Rovers. "We didn't play anywhere near our potential today," he said. "We had good opportunities but didn't make the most of them. They were probably better in the first half. In the second half, we've given ourselves a wee opportunity scoring right away, but then we shoot ourselves in the foot by losing a goal right after it. When it goes to 2-1, you can put a wee bit of pressure on them, but then we lost the goal and the game just petered out after that. We were well off it today and we probably got what we deserved." A win for Ardrossan against Thorney Wood saw them draw level with Kirkintilloch, though Darville's defeat to Petershill meant Rob Roy didn't lose any ground on chasing a top 5 finish and still have 2 games in hand over both sides. "We're still in a good position," Gibson said, "but we've got to get better for the last games. Other results went our way today, and those teams have probably played more games than us. We need to look forward to these last 6 games and getting the points we need to get into the top 8 or 9 in the league." Results: Ardrossan Winton Rovers 4, Thorneywood United 1, Benburb 1, Kilburney Ladeside 1, Irvine Meadow 11-3, Lanark United 0, Kirkintilloch Rob Roy 2, Whitlets Victoria 3, Petershill 4, Darville 1, Isle of Clyde 2, Muirkirk Juniors 1. Fixtures: Cumbernauld United versus Muirkirk Juniors, Irvine Meadow 11 versus Whitlets Victoria, Kirkintilloch Rob Roy versus Darville, Lanark United versus Peterhill, Neilson versus Thornley Wood United, St Roch's versus Ardrossan Winton Rovers, Vale of Clyde versus Benburb.
That's the end of this week's podcast. If you want to know more about Q and Review, our website is qandreview.com. That's CUEANDREVIEW.com.